Hello everybody and welcome back to Toon Revival. Today we have a double header where we will face off against Chelsea at St James's Park and then Norwich at Carrow Road. And it's all gone a bit Pete Tong in the last few matches. So I will go to the schedule just to show you what's gone on. The first thing you'll notice is a very heavy defeat to Bournemouth. I don't know what happened, honestly. Um, they scored two very, very early goals. I think they were 2-0 up inside 10-15 minutes. Just couldn't handle them. The strength of the players up front, they were holding up at the ball really, really well. Couldn't get around them to tackle. And I think they had 4 shots on goal, 4 on target, and 3 of them went in, which tells you everything that you need to know about that match. Then this was a really, really annoying game. Everton went 1-0 up. We then made it 2-1. Goals from Joel Linton and a first of the season for Maximin. And then they came back and they made it 3-2 and they won the game. But previous to that, didn't do too badly. Against Tottenham Hotspur of all teams, we actually won that game 3-2. Had no right to win it, but we somehow got a good result out of the back of that one. So and that made up for the disappointment of losing to Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-1. At home. We're becoming increasingly inconsistent. I can only hope that we can right the ship in this next couple of games, and that is the result that started it all off. Barnsley was a real head scratcher, and it shepherded in some really, really bad results. We've actually lost 3 games in the last 4. So anyway, on to today. It's Newcastle versus Chelsea, but before we go there, we've got some interesting news in the transfer market. Off the back of a couple of results, I decided that really we needed to be looking for central defenders who had a little bit more pace about them, because looking at my team at the moment, they're all rated around about 70, 71, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, that's an absolutely decent pace for a player. But when you're in the Premier League against centre forwards like Mo Salah, albeit he's more of a wing forward, but you get my point. Very strong, very pacey centre forwards in the Premier League, and you need defenders who can keep up with them. So we went into the transfer market, and I think we've picked up an absolute bargain, actually. We went in for a couple of players. We went in for Rojas from River Plate, who looked like an absolute bargain at £450,000. We offered 481,000 with a proposed weekly salary of 17,370. I have no idea if it was the team or the player that turned that down. I suspect it's the player because he wanted a release fee in his contract, and I declined to include one. So we may go back in for Rojas later. There's just a quick overview of the player. He's primarily a centre-back, but he can play as a right midfielder, and his playing style is that of an extra front man, so I guess he could potentially play up front in a pinch. Those are the rest of his stats. You can see he's a consistent player. Not necessarily the tallest for a centre-back at 176 centimetres. That puts him under 6 foot. But look at the rest of the stats there. His heading of 76, speed and acceleration of 75, his jumping is at 82, physical contact of 79, balance 72, stamina 76. He's a decent player. Look over on the right hand side, defensive awareness at 80, ball winning 81, and aggression 80. Aggression, I don't know if that's necessarily something that you need in a centre back, but I think it's a nice thing to have. So yeah, we were turned down by a River Plate on that particular one, or perhaps by the player himself. However, we were successful in the transfer market. You know that I went for Coco. He's coming in during the January transfer window. He'll be joining us from Nantes. I think that's a pretty decent little deal, to be fair. And this is the one that I was talking about earlier. Todibo, who I have no idea if he's a real player or not, but we bought him from Barcelona. We paid a lot of money for him, relatively speaking. Like, you know, if you look at Rojas, he was only 450,000. We tried to pay 481 for him. Todibo, we have paid 6.9. That was actually his release fee. And here he is. Look at that. He can play as a defensive midfielder as well as a centre-back. Primarily, I will be using him as a centre-back, but he can give us an option if Hayden isn't fit. I've got hiccups, apologies. His speed, his strength, his defensive ability, his passing's not too bad. And then let's go into here and have a look at this. So again, form-wise, a very consistent player. His weak foot, not something I'm particularly worried about. The height. Look at the height. 190 centimetres, well over 6 foot. His jumping, physical contact, 83, heading, 77, speed and acceleration. He's a little bit quicker than Rojas. He takes just as long to get there, though, 77 and 75. His defensive awareness isn't as good as Rojas, but this is the thing. He's a 20-year-old centre-back. He will improve. Ball winning, 79, and aggression. And this is what I was saying. The aggression is only at 64. Maybe that means he'll get into less trouble. I don't know. His passing's pretty decent as well at just 74. He's only one off of turning into a light orange colour there. He's got player skills of heading, man marking and interception, which makes him a very good centre-back. And there you go. He is on an upwards trajectory. Oh my god, my tongue is too big for my mouth. He is on an upwards trajectory. He is still improving as a player. I hope that he might end up going into the 80s. But if he does, we're definitely going to have to sign him to another contract, and hopefully we can convince him to get rid of that release fee. This is something that I'm not too sure about where it comes to Pro Evo this year. The number and the proliferation of release fees, which are exactly the same as the fee that you pay for them. I feel like a player should not necessarily want a release fee which matches what you paid for them initially. I think maybe they should be a bit more realistic and think, okay, the club is going to want to make money on me. Let's add 50% on top of what they paid. You know, back yourself is what I'm saying here. Okay, so today we're playing Chelsea. They're playing a 4-3-3 formation, so I feel like our formation is probably matched quite well against that. I think we're going to have trouble on the wings if we're not very careful. Yedlin not in the best shape at the moment, neither is Lascelles. I'm going to risk it with Lascelles because Fernandez did not cover himself in glory when I gave him a chance against Bournemouth. But Yedlin's going to have to make way. I think what I'll do is I'll throw him in instead of Dummett. I'll keep him on the bench in case. Hayden has not been right for the last few games. However, Longstaff has actually done a really decent job for me. Also, Joelinton not looking too great, and also I need to start rotating players. That being said, Mandzukic is a little bit down. He's fatigued after international duty, so maybe I should start with Joelinton, and I can always bring Mandzukic off the bench. Starting to suffer from having such a small squad, aren't we? Okay, that's going to have to do. Let's see how we get on with this. I'm not expecting anything from this game. It's Chelsea, after all. Even with all of the young players that they've got in the squad this year, they're very good players. I should have looked at the league before we came into this game to know where they were. I feel like they're hanging around the top end of the table. So we're going to have to be on our game.
Well, welcome everybody to a part of the world where football really
matters. It is a home match, however, so that's definitely something that plays into our hands.
In the lead up to kick-off here, a little bit grey overhead, and indeed the forecast is for a drop or two of rain as the day grows older. But regardless of that, there is a lovely backdrop here. The ambience is good, smashing noise from both sets of supporters, and expectations high in both camps. Certainly this is a very, very impressive venue, quite a sight to behold. We have already started here.
Just going to try and play a little bit of keep ball to start with, just to... Oh, well, that's not working very well, is it? Is that there for him? I don't think it is it? Apparently it is. I don't think that is the case, but there we go.
Chelsea are the league's top scorers, formidable in front of goal.
He's got in behind our full-back there, and we're in trouble already.
And it's Conte. Lovely bit of skill there. Kovacic. He wasn't very far from making something happen by himself. Lovely to see. Almiron.
No, couldn't quite get that pass to come off.
Now the counter.
Trying to put it around the corner for the
Pedro
player making the run. Might have been Mandzukic.
tries
The
lifting it
goalkeeper's
over.
going to come out, and that's meat and drink for him.
Well, it seems as if he's just had a momentary lapse and slipped into tunnel vision, because he had good options around him and he failed to get his head up.
Again, just couldn't quite get that pass off.
Now it's Pedro. Chip through. Defending of the desperate variety.
I brought the goalkeeper out to take care of that, and he's just gone walkabouts. You saw that. I was holding down the triangle button. I don't know what he was doing, but he obviously didn't fancy doing his job. That is irritating. Again, another example of the game maybe just being a little bit broken.
John Joe Shelby.
And if that costs me a goal, I'm not going to be happy.
And he's there to cut it out. Ritchie.
Chelsea have pushed both fullbacks into quite advanced positions here.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what are they attempting to do?
Well, it's a
Just a
bold
little bit
attempt,
sloppy on the ball
in my
at the moment. We're
opinion,
going to have to tighten
occupy
up.
the opposition in a way they're not expecting.
Nicely controlled.
That's it. Win the ball back.
He is not one
Now let's
readily
get at
to
them.
admit defeat. Don't be surprised
Carry
if
that
he
ball a
tries
little
that
bit
again.
further into Maximin. Play it into the centre. Play
Turns
back.
and goes back.
Bend it.
Almiron!
He couldn't. He's left-footed. I'm trying to get him to put it in the top right-hand corner. He's always going to have trouble. Should have tried popping it into the other corner. He was fairly central. He wouldn't have struggled too bad to get onto that. No, come on, Joelinton. Come on.
Stood firm. Newcastle
Need to use close control more. I know it's a mantra that I keep... Oh no, here we go, they're in. Oh, god damn it. Nothing I can do about that, really.
Speed of thought, efficiency of movement, and certainty of outcome.
It's rarely a problem when that much time is afforded in the penalty box. Nobody sensed where the danger was lurking, and the
Just
finish
one-touch
was made
passing is
a lot
absolutely
easier.
deadly. Absolutely deadly. There's nothing you can do about that at all. And we're 1-0 down, so we're going to have to work even harder to try and get something out of this game now.
The deadlock.
Well, just listen to the reaction. I think you can hear the approval from the support all around the stadium.
Almiron plays it out to the wing. Timely intervention. Zuma.
Better
And
not
it's
have come from
Ritchie.
an offside position.
That's a good shot.
Oh no! He had the entire goal to shoot at, and he's put it right down the goalkeeper's throat. That's very
Referee's given a
disappointing from
throw.
Joelinton, especially the form he's been in this season.
Oh, nice touch. Willems. Strong punch. And the whistle's gone, presumably for offside. Keeper sends it forward. Just brushed off the ball there. Longstaff. And it's Willems.
Oh,
And
come
it's played
on.
forward.
She
Chance
brushed
to
off the
break.
ball far too easily there.
Razpilicueta. Pulisic. Oh, well intercepted, really alert to the danger. Lascelles plays it forward. Willems tries to get it forward quickly. Crosses into the box. Pedro, whose solo strike gave his team a first-half lead in his last game. Jorginho goes back to base.
And we're definitely much better on the break than we
Kepa
are
sends that a long
having
way.
too much of the ball.
Pedro
If I have
needed
too
come
long
up
to
with a
think
better
on it,
ball.
I end up making a
Peter,
silly
his body
mistake.
shape was a giveaway before he made the pass, and its obviousness was appreciated.
And it's Willems. Oh, real chance! Almiron!
He's done it again.
Oh, That was no
I keep
routine
aiming for the
save.
wrong bloody side of the net.
High-class goalkeeping there to back
I
up
feel like
his-
if I
his
aim for the
high-class
left-hand side, would have taxed the goalkeeper a little bit more.
Hoists it forward. And that's a throw-in. Oh, terrible pass. And that'll be the final action of the first half. And there we are,
Okay,
off they go
1-0.
for
It's not the
half-time.
worst score to come in at
It
half
did
time
indeed
at,
come in the
but
first half.
we had the better of that
Only
half
been
in
that
terms
one
of
goal.
possession.
It is very, very
We
tight.
had more shots, all of them on target,
It's
but
a dressing
unfortunately
room
none of
that
them were
needs
particularly
rousing at
dangerous.
half-time, because in truth,
Let's have a
they've
look
not
if we can
really
change
been at it
anything
so
up.
far. If the pep talk works, we may see a very different side.
I think we're going to go to counter-attacking. Let's try and get bodies forwards as soon as we're on the ball. I want to move Maxim a little bit closer into the middle. Don't know if I necessarily want him as a... Yeah, let's try him as a second striker, a little bit closer to Joel Linton, get him to link up a bit more. And let's advance Shelvey slightly more. And maybe let's actually change him over to central midfielder, see if he can operate a little bit more in the same area as Almiron. Maybe actually just move Almiron slightly over to the right to give Shelvey a bit more space to walk into. I don't know if these nuances are necessarily going to bear out in the game, but yeah.
And we're underway again.
Newcastle don't need to press the panic button just yet.
Well, we've
They
intercepted
may
the
have to
ball,
tweak their
and I'll
setup
tell you what,
first.
Maxim,
If they don't
he's,
grab an early goal in
if
the
he can
second
get the
half,
ball in,
they can't hold
I
back, though.
can't quite manage it. But Joel Linton was standing there waiting.
Almiron goes for goal.
Oh, it took a deflection that could have gone anywhere. And he finally got it on his favoured left foot, so I'm learning.
Kovacic tries to switch the play. It's a promising ball. Pedro.
Oh, he had to win that. He
Chelsea
absolutely had to
manager was
win that
the
because he
brains
had a
behind
man
the last
over.
win.
Yeah, his hand was forced somewhat, Peter, because of the circumstances. He had to bring on goal scorers, but he was bold in going for broke to get what he wanted, and not many would have done that.
Forward it goes. And now the breakaway. Loses his balance and loses the ball.
Ooh,
Kepa will lay claim to that.
we just had someone hang in a little bit closer to goal.
Zuma. Newcastle still chasing a one-goal deficit here. Raspinaqueta. Across the field it goes. Zuma. Marcos Alonso looks to get on the end of this.
Ah, that header wasn't
A real
quite right.
chance to
He's won the
break.
ball though, so he's done well.
Almiron.
Ah, no, that
Needed
pass
to be
just
better
wasn't
there.
right.
It's a wasted chance.
Just didn't put his foot on the ball.
Jorginho.
And this is something I do like about the game this year, is that if you're not absolutely set correctly,
Kepa gets it upfield.
go on, win that ball, then passes can go
Almiron.
astray very easily.
Oh, great ball! Chance!
Get on it! Ah, unlucky.
Newcastle showing
Unlucky,
more
that's not a
urgency now,
penalty.
and
The
to be honest,
goalkeeper had
Peter,
that ball in
this
his
is
hands
what's required.
a long time before
Time to
Joel
talk
Linton got
about
anywhere near
risks
him.
now, Jim, is it? They
It's just
have
a
to
heavy
hurl
first touch. If it
everything
hadn't
at
have been
it
for
and
that,
hope for a break.
Just has to be done.
it's been a tale of half chances, you know. Like we've taken ours, we haven't taken ours, I
Zuma
should say.
goes looking. Marcos Alonso hits it back, and it's Pedro.
Uh-oh.
Pulisic
Uh-oh.
tries a shot.
Oh, well saved,
It's anyone's
goalkeeper.
ball.
Well
He's going
saved.
after it. And It's Marcos Alonso. Almiron takes control of it and he's on the move. It's Shelby!
Oh, Shelby! I tell you what.
He's looking to
Oh,
get there
God's sake!
first.
What's?
Well, I
Is
think
it
when you're in
R1 and
that
R2
situation,
for
all you
super
can
cancel?
do is tip your hat to the keeper, because that was fantastic.
Because we've given away a golden opportunity there. Oh, is he going to hoof it long, or is this a bit of kidology? He is going to hoof it long.
He's made sure that that won't get through. And here's Pedro. He's picked him out. Now it's Pedro. Pedro.
Ooh,
There's a
vital
real
little
appetite
touch from the
them
defender
to
there.
finally put this game to bed, but will they?
We're going to need to do something soon if we're going to get anything out of this match.
Ball's out on the left now. In comes the cross. Great!
Oh!
Richie gets flagged offside.
Offside again! What the
Keep
hell is
calm
going on
and
with
carry
Richie?
on. That's
He
the
can't
job
stay
in a
on side to
nutshell
save
now.
his life.
Well, he's worked so hard for his side, as you would expect.
I think that's going to be the last we've
couldn't
seen
help
of Richie
notice
in
that
this
he was
game.
starting to labour a bit, so it's no surprise.
Jolinton right-footed, isn't he? They're all right-footed, actually. Okay. So let's move Mandzukic more into the centre, and he can be a support striker as well. See how that works. Really relying on the fullbacks to give us some width now. Oh, come on. Stay on side.
Newcastle are actually displaying
lazy
tremendous
fucker.
fighting spirit. There's a real belief that they can still have a
You
say.
have to believe that we're going to win every single header from a goal kick. You have to. That's just lazy to get given offside from a fucking goal kick like that.
Given offside once more.
Oh my god! Stay on side, you lazy fuckers! Absolutely exasperating, this. It really is. Like, literally we're just ceding possession through the most basic of errors. Just stay on side. I'm begging you, stay on side. I'm going to be amazed. I'll tell you what, the next time that we play a forward pass and we're not given offside, I'm going to whoop and I'm going to wail and I'm going to celebrate like it's a bloody goal. If we get the ball back, we've basically wasted 10 minutes being given offside.
Oh, that's nice. It's come loose.
We're not going to get the ball back. They're playing keep ball. Oh my god.
Conte. More than happy to take the muscular approach.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Close it down, close it down, close it down.
Jorginho.
Boys, boys, boys.
Conte.
My
Steered
god.
forward.
Oh my word, here we go, 2-0.
It's one.
That's ridiculous.
He scores!
Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
And this is getting better and better.
One pass and they absolutely tore us.
Well, you know,
into
thinking
pieces.
about that, I think they perfected that on the training ground, because it took them seconds to get the ball
It's
from
ridiculous.
back to front, and they
And you know what
really
that is
came forward
actually,
with
that's
number two. It was
partly
all
my
very
fault,
well drilled.
is I've left attacking fullbacks on. There we go, I've turned them off now. It's too late now, of course. Only got 2 minutes of added time.
This is it.
Well, some fans are already on their way out, so that to
I don't
me
blame
says
them.
everything, Peter.
I would have gone home fucking years ago.
Referee looks at his watch.
Okay,
and
well,
blows
we
his
may
whistle.
not have been
Well, that
expected
does
to
not
get a
help.
result against Chelsea,
Interpret the
but I'm
performance
very
as you will.
disappointed.
But
Very
the truth
disappointed with
is
that
that they
performance, because
lost.
we were
You
not
look
at the
back on the
races,
game,
we
then,
never even got going.
Inevitable in terms of the result, but that doesn't tell an accurate tale. This was much closer than it should have been. They really dug deep.
Well, that's it from us. Thanks very much, Jim. It's a very good day to you from both of us.
I'm not happy with that performance at all. And very slowly and very surely we are slipping down the table. Where once we were top of the league, now we're 8th. It's just as well that they consider mid-table or top half of the table to be 13th and up, because at this rate we're going to struggle to finish in 13th. Okay, and now straight into Norwich. There is no rest for the wicked. What's going on in negotiations here? Oh, we have more scout reports. Terrier? I might buy a player called Terrier just because he's called Terrier, to be honest. He's pretty decent, actually. Eh. Something to worry about at another time. My God, look at that. Red arrows all over the place. Okay. I'm actually going to take attacking fullbacks off completely. We can always go back into the menu and put them back on if we need. But to my mind, the fullbacks get forward enough when you need them to. So it's not really an issue. But it just leaves us so exposed when we haven't got anyone playing at the back. All of our pace comes from Yedlin, and he's halfway up the pitch most of the time, if he's fit to play. Right, let's hope for a better result today.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is terrific to have you along for our live coverage of this eagerly awaited contest. It should provide some terrific entertainment on what is turning into a rather imperfect afternoon. The weathermen rarely get it wrong, and they have warned us that there is rain on its way. Shouldn't be bad enough in any sense meaningfully to impact on the game of football, but it is a factor to be taken into consideration. Plenty of other factors, of course, principally each. Well, he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Domet. Oh, well defended. That had to be done. Breaks on here. Across the field it goes.
Definitely looking to exploit
Loses his balance
the width of the
and
pitch.
loses the ball. Ki Sung-young. Hayden. Norwich seek a performance here which reflects rather better on the boss. He's taken a fair amount of criticism in the wake of the last game.
I think tactically he didn't make a good job of things for starters, and then compounded matters in trying to correct it. I only hope he's thick-skinned.
Lovely bit of skill. Real chance!
Oof.
It's off target and by quite a way.
Oh, no, that
Nice bit
was
of play,
a chance.
though.
What a chance.
I think the fact that I'm freshly aware that Maximin's strongest foot is his right means that I'm trying to get the ball onto that side when trying to cross the ball.
There tells the whole
That
story.
is giving them a little bit more time to set themselves.
A weak execution.
Almiron. Almiron!
Oh, that was another sighter.
he's managed to
He's
get
had
it
two
all
shots
wrong.
now and they've
It
both
didn't
gone
quite
past
come
that
off on
right-hand
this
post.
occasion, but it only needs a gentle tweak.
But he's too good a player to miss a third time. If we can get him back in again, I reckon he could get a goal out of this.
And that is as far as they're going to go.
Come on, Joelinton, you're better than
Norwich
that.
have made it
You've
clear
got to
what
protect
they're
the ball
trying
a
to
little
do
bit
for me,
more.
Peter.
What are they trying to do?
Well, I think they're making the pitch as big as possible to work both flanks into better supply routes.
Out to the right. Ritchie. And it's Yedlin. Yedlin pumps it into the area.
Offside.
Oh, he's managed to get himself
Again.
offside.
This is becoming a real annoyance. I wonder how much of it is how tactically familiar they all are with each other, and how much of it is just intelligence on the part of the player. Oh, he's offside, is he?
Ritchie.
No, there was a player playing him on the right flank.
Ki Sung-young tries lifting it over. Cleared away.
Oh, he's bundled into him there. I think that's a foul, isn't it?
Yeah, he's pulled him up for that challenge. And he has shown him a yellow card.
Very early for a yellow card. He's going to have to play it safe now. Let's have another look at the incident. Is that worth a yellow? I mean, he's literally just shoulder checked him. I don't think that's a yellow card at all.
Krul gets it upfield.
I think that's very, very harsh on the Korean.
Hayden. Dummett. Done very well to intervene. Oh, that is lovely footwork. Can he deliver? Lovely bit of skill there. And it's Dummett. That'll be a throw. Goes for the cross. Not offside that time.
Of course he was offside.
Krul sends that a long way. Oh, good interception.
Of course, Newcastle old boy Tim Krul playing today.
Almiron. Doesn't get the pass he's looking for. Plays it out to the wing. Crosses it in low.
Ooh.
Goalkeeper's ball.
Wasn't a bad ball if the goalkeeper hadn't risked coming out for it. Could have gone across the face. Oh, we could be in here with a little bit of pressure on the keeper. No, no such luck.
Distance on that.
And he's onside.
He's had a go.
Oh, it's a good save from the keeper, but
a wonderful stop.
honestly, I don't know why, as a right footer, he's taken. Did he take that with his left foot? I think he took that with his left foot. Let's just watch the replay and. Yeah, he's taking it with his left foot, and he's a right-footed player. Very peculiar.
And that's been levered clear.
He's offside. God damn it.
Yes, it is.
That's going to be the title of this episode. Offside. I've never seen someone... I've never had a team be offside so often.
It's being played forward.
Come on, you've got to get on him. You can't let him have the ball in this area. It's too dangerous. Ah, well done. It's well played.
Dummett. Hoists it forward. Almiron. It's got through to him. It's a fine challenge and it goes his way. Keeper sends it forward. Lascelles does well there, alert. Gets it, and now what? And the shot!
Oh!
Surely that deserved better.
That was created because of good lively movement, which pretty much dictated the pass.
Well, it seems as though someone has been forced to pull up lame here.
Oh
Yeah,
no, here we go.
You know, I think it appears
Here
to have
we
been
go.
bothering him for a while.
Looks as though he's going to see if he can shake it off.
We're going to have to change him. It's alright, Shelby can play in that role. That'll be fine.
Time for a change in personnel.
He's not as quick, but he's got the passing ability to unlock a defence, so we'll just have to rely on his ability from a static position rather than running into spaces. That's going to put more onus on the centre forward as well.
And the half-time whistle goes.
Okay, so it's 0-0 at half-time. I get the feeling this isn't going to be a very positive episode for results.
That's still goalless.
Look at the possession of...
So there was the
Oh
first
my
half.
word.
Newcastle ended that first half in such a strong fashion. I think we'll just have to wait and see now if they can rekindle that.
Right, we need
drive
to
and
make
that
sure that we press on in the
It's
second
been great
half and we
commitment,
really
and that
use
has
the
to
ball
be maintained
and we
in the
take
second
advantage
half.
of this possession that we found.
Interesting half, just missing goals, so don't be surprised if the second half brings a change to the scoreline at the break, 0-0. So we're already into the second period.
Newcastle clearly have been the better side for me. Yeah, I know the score doesn't quite reflect it, but if they go about their game in the same manner as the opening 45 minutes, things really should improve.
Forward it goes. Gets into a dangerous position. It's on a plate.
That's just very well played. He can't hurt you with his back to goal, and he didn't go for the back heel.
Poor selection of passing. Definitely on me. Oh, he's won the ball back though.
Ki Sung-young puts his foot on the gas. Gets away from his opponents. He's in. It's Shelby. Oh, that's a terrific save from the keeper.
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes were ultra sharp.
Played out to the right.
We're going to hit us on the counter here if we're not careful.
Whipped in. Gets up to
Ooh, the goalkeeper had to be on his toes.
Fine save.
Well, you can't ask for much more than that. A difficult moment he simply had to deal with.
And it's Shelby.
Come on, Jolinton, you can get on that. You can get on that. He just couldn't win it, could he?
Danger averted for now. Norwich have a free kick.
Oh, really? What for? I was literally running. I didn't even touch the X button. You're seriously going to give a free kick for that? That is the softest free kick I have ever seen in my life. That's absolutely ridiculous. That's abominable, is that? I'll tell you what. There's some right pussies playing
Ball
football
gets
these days.
outfield. Tries to stroke it through. Neatly flicked on. Fernandez. Newcastle getting a lot of touches here, but they're not making much progress. Ki Sung-young. Oh, that's clearly not
Oh,
what he
saw the
wanted to
pass
do.
but couldn't quite make it. Maybe I should have lofted it.
He's come through and he's had a quick look inside. It's a brilliant interception. Hayden tries to get it forward quickly. Played down the flank. Richie.
He's in here. He hasn't got the
And
pace to do
counter
much
is
with it,
on.
but he is in
Gets
here.
the better of his man. He's had a shot.
Oh, it's a goal!
It's in.
They'll kick themselves.
The
if that
R2
doesn't
button
turn out
came
to
in
be a
very
clincher.
handy
What a
there.
time
Just
to
placed
score.
it into the bottom corner.
A pretty simple finish in the end.
It's a
What do you
nice
think,
little
Jim?
reverse
Yeah, I really
pass
can't
with
say
the
enough
triangle
as
button.
to
Just
how
a
good
little.
the final
It's
ball
a
was.
through ball, but
It
it's a
took the
backwards
defence
through
out of the
ball, if that makes
equation
any
for that
sense.
split moment.
Just kind of lays it
And
on for his man,
damage
and then
was
just
all
a
done.
simple finish. And really, like, that's what you want.
Gonna be another
That is what
change
you
here.
want. Now they're going to be pressing us, which means that we're going to have more room to get forward. I'm going to change it to counter-attack just because I think that They're really going to be trying to push for this goal now, because they must see this as points
well, we
dropped.
certainly had to wait for it, Peter. Now a difficult decision. Is it stick or twist?
Well, that's where he wants it. Promising move that. Good inroads into enemy territory, but no joy. Ki Sung-young. Shelvey.
Over the top for Joel Linton. Can he get onto it? Oh, not quite. Defender just took care of it.
Newcastle are clearly looking to kill this game off. It's keeping the ball away from the other end too.
It's the wrong pass. It's the wrong pass.
Try something new. Krul sends that a long way. Well, it is a narrow lead, but they are clinging on to it right now. Newcastle are finally poised to break their losing streak. Last few minutes. And it's played forward. So holding on now for those 3 precious points. Massively!
Come on, keeper.
No,
Well taken.
Didn't quite meet it right.
Oh, his instinct was brilliant, but not the finish.
Well, actually.
Cuts it out. That's surely a foul. Free kick.
He's gone through the back of me there. Easy foul.
Hayden. And it's Dummett. It is just a question of running down the clock now. Hayden. Jonjo Shelvey. Over to the left. Oh, that's a waste.
I think it's time for them to concentrate on closing this one out.
Thought the left back was going to run into space. Or sorry, that Atsu was going to run into space ahead. So I played the preemptive through ball thinking that I was going to be playing it into his feet, and he only went and ran the wrong bloody way, didn't he? Very annoying. We need to be careful now. We really need to be careful. Don't want to concede a stupid last-minute goal. Is that going out? I don't think it is. Oh, he's just carried it out of play.
And the ball is out of play.
That should be it. That should be the 3 points. And indeed it is.
Newcastle, hold on. It's a narrow
A relief, a blessed relief. After a run of defeats, we finally got ourselves 3 points on the board.
With very little between two teams that
It probably should have been easier, but Norwich are a good side. It would be a disservice to them to say otherwise.
For joining us and to wish you a very good day.
But honestly, looking at that, like that they got back into it second half. They definitely had more possession. But I think we decided we really deserved to shade it, or shave it. Either way, it's a close shave. We shaded it in a close shave. Joel Linton getting the man of the match performance, and that will do us. So, oh, Bournemouth, look at that, little Bournemouth getting a 2-0 win at Arsenal. Wow. Do you know what? Maybe Bournemouth aren't that bad a team. Jesus, look at Arsenal. They're nearly in the relegation spaces. What is going on there? Dear, 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 dear. The league is upside down. And Chelsea top of the league, so maybe the 2-0 defeat was not the worst result in the world. Okay, so with that in mind, thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.